Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Never felt better, never had more.
That's good.
Is this store closed?
No, it's not closed. It's still running. Yeah.
Okay. The first line of your text in the document says closed.
Sorry. No, it's still
So
running
this
the
is
business.
lovely
Yeah.
Austin, Texas.
Yeah. It's like an
And
hour. Yeah.
I can warn you that this store does not look horrible, but you have hired me to do a job and see what is what. So let's call up this number. And you got the number from the tenant who runs
Yeah.
the laundromat. Now that's really odd and unique and different. Why would the tenant give you the number for his landlord?
He's selling the business. It is on Craigslist. Just a business. Then he say, if you want to talk about the leasing, this is the number you call for the person who's representative of the landlord.
He's
Yeah.
selling the business on Craigslist, not through a broker, which tells us that he's failing miserably. What is the sale price?
Yeah. He's selling it for $130,000.
$130,000.
Yeah.
And you spoke to him.
But I said, like, is this yours? And then he said, yeah. I went by first. I went to the laundromat to see it, to see if it's horrible. And then he was there, and then he asked, who are you the owner of this? Yeah, he said, I'm selling it. It's about to be closed by July because of the lease ending in July. Yeah.
Don't
So
you
I
think
didn't tell him
that's
that I want to buy or
think
anything. I tell him that I'm interested in leasing one of this building here, and then he gave me the number. Yeah. Yeah.
these are big important things to be in the notes here? Okay, number one, it's on sale on Craigslist for $130,000. His lease is up
Yeah.
in July.
Yeah.
Why don't you buy it from him? Sounds like a great deal.
Because I want to talk to you first. Yeah. Yeah. But he's telling me nothing. Yeah.
That is correct. He has nothing to sell. His lease is up
Yeah.
in 4 months, and he thinks somehow he's going to scoop up $130,000. Wow.
So I'm getting nothing.
It's a
He's
little,
telling me nothing. Losing my money.
it's a little sad. Did he tell you how much the store is earning?
No.
But you're buying something. What costs more, a Chanel purse or a Walmart purse?
Chanel costs more.
Why? It holds the same amount of things and stuff, right?
Yeah.
You're paying for a brand name in that case. It's very different. In this case, he's selling his business for $130,000.
Yeah.
Your businesses are bought and sold based on profit, nothing more, nothing less. Profit. There's no profit here, or he'd march in there himself and sign a new long-term lease.
Yeah.
I want to make sure you understand that.
Yes.
He gave you the telephone number for his landlord because he wants out desperately. Let's see if we can't get somebody on the phone. You don't have a name?
No, I sent you the name. It has a name. I did. I sent you the name.
It says Oasis Mortgage. It doesn't have a name of a person. All right, here we go.
Hello?
Hi there. I'm calling on some commercial space for lease here in lovely Austin, Texas. Got your number from another tenant. There's a laundromat space here.
Yes.
I spoke to your. Are you aware that your tenant is trying to sell his business?
Okay. Yeah, I was not aware he was to sell, but I'm getting some calls that he was rentable. Yeah, his lease expires end of June, So if he wishes to buy, just all we need is application fees and everything, and then we'll keep it as a laundromat if you are interested.
Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm obviously interested, sir, and I'm not calling because I found this laundromat for sale on Craigslist. I want you to understand that. I've been in the laundry business for 16 years. I've got stores in 3 states.
Yeah.
And okay,
So
what's your name,
what's your
sir? My name is Danny D'Angelo. What's yours? Awesome.
How can I help you? What do you need?
That's perfect. I want to sign a 15-year lease.
Okay.
Retool the store with new equipment. I want to talk terms with you. You're saying, hey, nice to talk to you, sir. Don't know who you are. I'm getting a lot of responses because obviously your tenant has failed and they're on the way out. The big deal, and I couldn't really understand. I apologize. I couldn't understand your first name.
Zia, Z-I-A.
Zia. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Used to have some record stores. Used to have some record stores in Arizona named Zia. Go ahead, correct me.
Oh, the tenant never failed. He's been there for the last 15 years. He paid his dues every month. There's no dues or anything balanced. He is a good tenant. He paid all his dues. He never failed. So I don't know why he's selling. Because he has several other locations also, and he never told me that he's selling. He may be selling on his own. But if anybody wants to take the lease or you want to have a new lease, we are open for that.
Sure. And I don't want to get in an argument. I'm not a laundromat expert. I don't claim to be a laundromat expert. With all of my stores and all of my years of experience, I don't use that term. If this was a restaurant and he was there for 15 years, that would be fantastic. We all know that.
Right.
You have to bring consumers in, you have to keep them fed and happy, and you have to make great meals. I don't care if it's a steakhouse or a taco stand. Right. This is a laundromat. So I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings. I don't know your tenant. I didn't interact with your tenant. I'm not looking. He's selling the store for $130,000 on Craigslist, not through a broker. If he would have marched if he would have marched into your office and signed a new long-term lease, Zia, he'd be doing well, but he's not. So I'm not trying to mince words with failure, nor am I putting words in anyone's mouth. But this conversation has nothing to do with your tenant. It has to do with the space. Because obviously I'm not going to give him $130,000 when his lease is up in July, nor is anyone else.
Yeah. You make an agreement with him and then you come to me, but he's
hold on. I'm talking to you as the landlord. Okay. His lease will be up in July, so I want to make you understand. I'm willing to talk terms with you in reference to a new long-term lease. That's where we're at. He won't be selling this business at any price. If he does, God bless him. Then Zia, who's your tenant? If he sells it for maybe $50,000, you've got someone.
I don't care. I don't care if he sells for $1 or $50,000.
Right.
Or he has to be out, or he has to renew the lease. So
there you go.
That's how he. But if you want to rent the lease space, our triple net fee is about $9 per square feet, and the rent would be about $2 per square feet. Okay. So you calculate it's a 2,000 square feet space, and you have a separate meter for the water bill. He has a separate meter for water bill.
We're getting way ahead. Of course, a laundromat is always going to be separately metered. That's the only way we do it, because we're using more water than an apartment complex, obviously. Now you're saying your base rent is $2 per square foot.
Yes.
It's 2,000 square feet.
Yep.
So I want to talk this out with you, and perhaps, Zia, maybe I give you just a little bit of an education in reference to what a laundromat can pay, and we part friends. I'd love to sign a lease with you. Here's the thing. You're looking for $4,000 base rent per month on a 2,000 square foot facility, correct?
Yes.
Okay. The difference between me and who you tell me has been a very successful tenant for many years, debt service on new equipment. You said you didn't care about him. He's been with you for 15 years. That's fine. I own commercial property too.
He can move. I can rent the space more than $2 per square feet. Okay, he can move. Sure. I don't care. I need the rent. So
that's twice you told me that that's twice you told me you didn't care. But if I become your tenant, I don't need you to care about me either. What you care about is collecting the commensurate and appropriate rent for the next 15 years on time. I do 15-year terms, okay? So I just want to, we can talk for 10 minutes, or we can...
Yeah, sorry, please, excuse me. Well, please send me a proposal. We can look it over. I don't have time to...
You said that you own the property. Did you answer the phone accidentally? Is this a bad time?
No.
Okay,
but
so let's talk for a few...
On and on.
On and on and on. Let me get to the point. I'll have debt service $200,000 plus on equipment. I drag that debt service throughout the entire lease. I'm not going on and on. I want to tell you how laundromats work. You want to get rid of this laundry?
No. Listen. I don't care how the laundromat works.
You don't care. That's 4 times you told me you don't care about your tenant and you don't care about me.
Listen.
Great landlord.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Listen. How much you want to pay the rent?
$1 a square foot.
Sorry, not going to happen.
No, that's fine. I wouldn't want you as a landlord in any way, shape, or form because you don't care.
Yes.
But what you want is a national chain. So if I called up instead of a laundromat operator and I was with Walmart or CVS Pharmacy, you would care.
But you are going on the price and those things. How they
We've been on the telephone for 8 minutes and you don't even care enough to converse with someone who knows this business and can give you proper and commensurate rent for the next 15 years. I'll be giving you well over $300,000. That's who's on the phone, not someone who's looking at a Craigslist ad, my friend. I found this store by looking at it, by scouting it physically. I'm looking at every laundromat in Austin.
Listen. Talking back and forth is not going to work.
Okay. So a laundromat, period. You don't frequent laundromats. No, you listen. You're going to get upset because you don't want to collect rent from a good, strong tenant because you like to run roughshod over tenants because you don't care.
Hey, listen,
you said it 5 times.
Listen, I don't have time for
and you don't have time for a $300,000 tenant.
Me, okay?
Good luck to you, sir.
I don't care.
Hang up the phone.
Yes,
hang up the phone.
Good luck to you.
Because you are a poor landlord. You're a slumlord.
Okay, that's
You're
fine.
a slumlord.
Okay.
Tell me you don't care. Did you give up? Come on, Zia. He gave up. Mebrak.
Yes.
Hi there.
Yeah. I was hearing it. Wow.
Do you still want that location?
No.
Why not?
Huh? The way he is? No. Yeah.
Now, what do you think that was? Do you think that was an argument or do you think that was a negotiation?
He doesn't want to negotiate.
He doesn't want to negotiate. You're right. So literally, at least 4 times, it might have been 5. First of all, he answers the phone and he says, hello?
Yeah.
It's not how you do business. It's not how I do business. I look at my phone, I see a number that I don't recognize. Hello, this is Danny.
Yeah.
Just from the very inception of the call, you've got an extremely rude, extremely arrogant potential landlord. Is this the guy that you want? He said, okay, you're interested. You need to send me a proposal and you need to fill out the paperwork and have a nice day. Didn't even care who I was, i.e. who you are, who the potential long-term tenant is. He's got an outgoing. Now, you have to hear the nuances in the call. When he didn't like my tone and tenor doesn't ever change until theirs does, ever. I'm not an argumentative person unless you step to me. I will never let you or any of my clients end up with their neck in a noose because they're on some deal with a landlord like this. This is 2,000 square feet. Can't argue with this guy. There's no need to argue with this guy.
No.
He would rather collect, he said, I don't care, $1 or 50,000 or 130. He didn't know, but he didn't want to listen. I asked him, is it a bad time? No, he can talk. But he didn't want to talk to me. Think about this. This type of potential landlord literally doesn't want to speak to you or any tenant, especially a tenant who knows their business, That's the type of tenant that pays the rent, be it a national chain or a steakhouse operator that's got several locations. He also said something that was telling, didn't he? He said that this gentleman, he's very, very successful. Don't tell me he's failing. But then he listened. He said, he's got several locations. So this place is his dog. He's getting out of the lease and walking away from this location. What do I want you to do moving forward? As my client who wants to be successful in laundromats, I want you to dig into this operator and find out where his other locations are and scout them. Okay? You've got to.
I will. Okay.
Bottom line.
I think I probably know his other location on. I think I know.
Okay. Yeah. If you know where they are or you think you know where they are, I'm not asking you to go look into this operator's bank accounts. I'm not asking you to deal with any of that. What I'd like you to do is put them in the Google document so that I can look over them. I can almost guarantee you that this is the guy's dog. It's his worst store. You know why he might just, and this is a little bit of background. You know why this operator might just want out of this location?
Yeah.
Yes or no question. Do you know why he might want to leave this spot and sell it?
Probably due to the landlord.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, Brock, you are a thoughtful and intelligent thinking woman. I wouldn't want to deal with this cat. No, thank you.
Sure. Yeah.
I can negotiate this down. My clients often get so enthralled and so intrigued and so interested in this empty space with all of that infrastructure that they're willing to lose. They are.
Sure. Yeah.
Not going to let you do that. We walk away from more deals than we sign. Am I supposed to say to this guy, oh, please, please, sir, please.
No.
Let me talk for a minute about this lease rate and what it should be and what we can pay. No, thank you.
True.
There are a lot of layers to this onion. There are many layers to what I do for you and how far I'm willing to go, and this is just one. I could deal with that guy, so could you. You have a rock-solid, ironclad lease that protects you in every way, shape, and form. That's what we sign. But this guy doesn't even want to talk? I don't care. Wow.
Yeah.
It's obvious and evident, my friend. It's really obvious that you don't.
Yeah. That's, I don't even know what to say. That he needs to change his attitude too. He is very rude.
That's the smallest part of this.
Yeah.
The smallest part of it, him being rude. I can deal with rude.
Okay.
I hire an attorney. I want him to be rude. I want him to be ruthless. I want him to be a pit bull. You hired me for the same reason. There's no reason to talk to this guy. That conversation was tragic.
Sure.
And I didn't call names. I didn't curse at the guy. I'm better than that. But at some point I have to say, look, dude, he's about to hang up the phone anyway. You're a slumlord.
Yeah.
He lays down the law. $2 a square foot. What we're looking for is $1, and you're going to get it. His triple nets are $9. You understand 12 equals 1. So when he says $2, he means $24. You get that math.
Yeah.
Where we're supposed to be at 12, he's asking for 24, double. $1 versus 2. Because you like to say $1 a square foot, 2,000 square feet is $2,000 a month. But there's 12 months in a year, so that makes it $24,000 a year. You get it. So when he bandies about with $2 a square foot, that's what I pay, and you need to fill out an application, I don't care about you.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Well,
I'll call him back next week from a blocked line, and I'll say, this is CVS Pharmacies. Watch how his tone changes.
Okay.
I'm kidding. He's wrong. To not being willing to spend a few moments on the telephone with the likes of you.
True.
This place, here's your homework. Figure out who operates this place and the other stores that he has.
Yeah.
If he has several locations, he's either getting out of all of them or only this one. And if it's only this one, there's a problem. And it could very well be the guy we just conversed with.
Okay.
What do you think this guy's going to do when your rent is late? I bet he won't care.
Yep.
Your other more important homework is to scout more locations and put them in front of me. If we call one store a week, this is what we get.
Okay.
Pound the
I
pavement.
will.
God bless.
Okay.
Cheers.
Thank you.
And now we have a moment together alone. That's a live call. That was a live telephone call. What do you do at work? When I started to do laundromats, when I got into this business, I was a licensed private investigator after my time in the Navy for 12 years, and I ran an office full of PIs. Our banks were lenders, institutional money. It was like that all day, every day, screaming and yelling at people on the phone, laying down the law, trying to win your side, trying to negotiate. That's who I am. A self-made guy with millions now, not in assets, not in stuff and things. Money's put away, life is good, because I decided in 2006 that I wanted to be the salt of the earth guy to go dig ditches and have a brick and mortar business. So I looked into coin and cash laundromats. And I remembered one of my first jobs working at a bank as a merchant teller. We had an older gentleman who came in literally and ironically with laundry baskets full of cash. I remember that. And he used to deposit just under $10,000 to avoid the CTR, the currency transaction report, which was a big deal back then. So when I started looking, after I had built a fairly decent empire, after I had put money away, after I started collecting gold and silver, I started looking into brick and mortar, like you're doing right now. And laundromats seemed like the thing, and I remembered that guy. And I got on the phone and I started to call around to distributors that sell equipment and sell stores, brokers who wouldn't talk to me about the prices of laundromats without going into their office and signing a non-disclosure agreement. It didn't pass the smell test. It didn't make sense to me. I started to wonder why anyone would buy a business like this guy trying to sell this laundromat in Texas for $130,000 on Craigslist. His landlord, the jackhole that he is, has nothing to do with my future success. I did that locally here in Arizona. None of it made sense. None of the numbers made sense. But I was the kind of guy that had to do it, wanted to do it, and I was so bold. I had money on a property ladder. I had sold a few properties. I had almost $400,000 burning a hole in my pocket. So I bought a local laundromat. $250,000 I never should have spent. There are a few people on YouTube that talk about their laundromat empires and how they've done and the money that they're making and the lessons that they've learned. Just about every one of them has a story of woe that leads to the story of triumph. Just about every one of them, when you ask, tell me about your first laundromat. Well, I bought it. Didn't know what I was doing. I purchased it. But this is my story. 250 grand, very little due diligence, because nudge, nudge, wink, wink, it's a cash business. That's what they all say. Oh, I don't have it written down in a book. I don't deposit it all in the bank. One of those things is a lie. If you don't deposit every penny in the bank because you have a food truck or a hot dog stand that does well in New York City or a coin and cash laundromat, I wouldn't blame you. We all understand the implications of the Internal Revenue Service and how all of that works. That operator told me, oh, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, I don't deposit everything. I believed him. Going further, I never owned a cash business, never. Save back when I was a child and I was 12 years old and I was painting sidewalks to make money. I wasn't old enough to work. That was the last cash business I had. I did really well. I check from the Navy, then being a private investigator with a corner office. Life was good, not fortunate. I'm not blessed. I've worked for all of it. I'm spinning a lot of plates. I've got a lot of stories. I'm fired out of a cannon because I appreciate a guy like Zia. I bought that store and I walked in there not knowing what the hell I was doing. They had 2 employees that were paid under the table. They were a young married couple with a baby on the way, and they're in the back room with their feet up watching television all day, supposedly doing the wash, dry, fold. You're wondering about laundromats. That's why you're here. How do you run them? How do you deal with employees? The steps that I took back then, the remembrances that I have, kicking his feet off of that desk. She was pregnant. And saying, get out. Harsh. They were on government assistance already, being paid under the table. I'm not going to risk my family, my future, on that type of an illegal operation, as small as it may seem. More clients incessantly texting me because they're ready to get on the phone. There are poignant moments in all of our lives. When our first child is born, maybe second or third. Walking down the aisle, first and only time. Being shot at, blown up, jumping out of a plane. Skiing in Aspen. I remember that moment when I decided that I would change the outlook of that laundromat that I paid $250,000 too many for, and I did. And predominantly, the way that I made that store successful was picking up the phone and calling more landlords because I realized that I would get robbed for the equipment that I bought to retool that store. That store I bought, you know what I got? Not goodwill that walks off the street. Not broken down, horrible equipment, but infrastructure. The gas, water, and electric in that laundromat was worthwhile. Not worth what I paid, but it was worthwhile. So retooling it, got robbed on the equipment I bought. Again, lesson learned. You're wondering all of this. Why is it free laundromat, Danny? It's not because it's catchy. It's because it's real. Because now, 16 years later, as a consultant in this industry, I put people like Mabrack in stores. I look out for you. What did I do with that store? Retooled it, and went after more. It's called dollar cost averaging. If you're in the ruble at 50 cents on the dollar, currency exchanges are not easy, by the way. We're not talking about buying a stock. If you're in the ruble at 50 cents on the dollar and now it's at a penny, I know what you're thinking. I got to get out. Absolutely not. People do that. People buy a stock at $1. It drops to 50 cents and they panic and they get out. What's wrong with you? Sit tight, relax. Sure, it might go to a penny, but likely it won't. If you loved it at $1, you're in love with it at 50 cents. Buy more, dollar cost average. That's what I did with laundromats. I pulled myself up by the bootstraps and I said, not only am I going to fantastically make this store a success, but I learned the lessons. I have to go after more stores. I have to scoop up more locations through this methodology. I knew that what I bought was worthless. Instead of being pissed and doing what I see, I'm on all of the forums, Facebook forums, and I watch these 50-plus-year-old couples buy a laundromat.
Congratulate us. We just completed our due diligence. We're getting the keys to our laundry tomorrow.
I used to screen cap them. I've got files full of these folks. 6 months later, when their money runs out, when their cash reserves are gone, they're on the same Facebook page.
Hey, does anyone know a good business broker?
They sell the store to someone else, normally for $10,000 more than they paid. Why? Because they deserve it. You might be watching this for entertainment value because you love Danny D'Angelo. Thank you. But that's not why I'm here. My YouTube channel, my oldest video is from 2009. I never monetized my channel until last year. What does that mean to you? We've been on YouTube a long time. Remember the little blue boxes with the white lettering? How to change the transmission on an 87 Toyota Corolla? I do. YouTube has come a long way. It's minting billionaires. I'm not here to make money monetizing a YouTube channel. I'm not clickbaity. I'm here to help educate you and get you into one thing, the coin and cash laundromat business. How can you possibly make millions 25 cents at a time? Easy. Here's the whole secret. Scout existing laundromats in your town. I have a client active right now in France. I have a client active right now in Guam. 2 in Australia. I get up at 4 a.m. to make calls. Unlike Zia, I care. You want to get in this business? Here comes the big whammy. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe. Why? Because I go live all the time, kids. I go live. I don't want you to miss it. I'm selfish too. Delete a bunch of other YouTubers that you follow and subscribe to me because it's always going to be a laugh riot. Once you've done that, you want to know everything that I'm blathering on about without a net, without a script, get the course. It's in the link in the description. Get the course. Now I don't want to say like Zia does that I don't care, because I do. The preponderance of my concern, my caring is this. If you're here because you're serious about owning cash laundromats, start with the course, period. Don't make another move until you've seen it. I'm not begging. I'm not even asking. I'm telling you. There's so much information there. My silly website has videos all over it, mostly successful folks like you who've done it, who've changed their lives. That's why my website is fun. That's how I capture people for 28 minutes on my website, because the videos are great. You go to walmart.com, you want to know where's the nearest store and do they have my underwear? And you're out. Go look at my FAQ, my frequently asked questions on there. You know what? There's no answers. Because those are the questions that I answer with the silly course. Scoop it up. You want me to help you to make these calls? You want me to be not just your voice, but your sword and your shield. I'm here for you. I watched a little arrow on the YouTube, concurrent viewers on the live. The minute I say buy something, everybody drops off. That's fine. It's fine. I don't need fans, which is short for fanatics. I'm looking for zealots. I got a bottle of scotch last week, 4-pack of wine. Okay, I drink. My successful clients turn into millionaires, and they love me for it. And I love them. Hell, I love you. I got to get to work.